Hello and welcome to episode 58 of my Terraria Calamity mod playthrough. Quick bit of housekeeping. I noticed after the end of last episode that this thing here was actually one block short on each side compared to this thing here. The thing that gave it away was the fact that there wasn't enough room down here to effectively fit 3 relics without it hitting the central column. Which shouldn't be true. The relics should come up to effectively this bit here. So we have made that one wider, which has allowed us to put down 2 more mannequins. What else? Oh yes, in the event you didn't notice this or you didn't watch it, I did find out that there was indeed the asteroids that had spawned over here did actually have Luminite on them. So we have converted that into bars, of which we have 300 spare. And I say spare because I then went through and found everything that we have that is crafted with Luminite, and there's a lot of it. So we're going to be starting today's episode with that. As usual, there will be chapters in the description and in the seek bar if you want to skip this. But we will start with testing and crafting and testing of the remaining Luminite weapons. Afterwards, the plan will be to take on the Lunar Cultist once and the Moon Lord once with our new gear, to see how it handles. There is a few drops we still want from the Moon Lord. I don't think we need them. This one here specifically is one I would like to get. I would like to get this, but I don't think this is going to be better than the Lunar Portal Staff. And these 2 are also materials, but they're not used in the god item, so it's not required, but it would be nice to have. And of course, from the Lunatic Cultist, we do still need it to drop its trophy so that we can turn it into the lore item. But what I will probably do is, if we don't get anything of interest this time around, I'll wait until I'm a fair bit more powerful and I can just nuke them both. After that, if we have time, we'll head into the dungeon, because we want to get some of those new items that are in there. There is still 1 item from the dungeon that we need. We don't need it for anything immediately, but it is an item required as part of an upgrade path. I think it's this one, Wrath of the Ancients. Yeah. So we need Wrath of the Ancients in order to build this. But of course we can't do that in a minute, so it's not a big deal if we don't get it, but that is the plan. Right, let us get to crafting. Oh, the other thing I also did, I made all the little tower thingies, so we can change how we're feeling here, if we want to. We can also enable this, which includes the shaking effect, which, no, let's not. I might leave that on for the time being. Oh yeah, it dies the entire screen, but yeah, we made them. Right. To crafting, first things first, we now have enough for this and this, although I think there is an item I still need to craft out of this. Okay, we need 30 of these. This is why there's still a blank spot here. It's so that we can have our teleport item. And then this is an accessory for Ranger. And since this is in here as well, we'll craft that as well. Okay, let's see. Oh, one other thing that I did test, since I'm seeing bullets in here. If you remember the little... Oh, what do they call it? Let me get the name of the damn thing. The Tactical Plague Engine. How much damage it does is affected by the type of bullet you give it. It does fire the type of bullet that you have in your inventory. So you can improve the damage on it or apply additional effects with it. So it is useful, but compared to the combination of these 2, the loss in damage just isn't worth it. So let's start with the containment drill unit. This, in theory, is a better version of the drill we already have. Next, we want this thing here, the Normality Relocator, which we shall pin, which allows us to teleport on the press of a Z key, but has a cooldown on it. I will almost certainly either use that without meaning to, or entirely forget that I have it on us. Next, next? Ah, yes, this thing here, the Dawnlight Spirit Origin, which is, I believe, a ranged item specifically. Ranged attacks that strike a bullseye or with critical strike and deal massive damage. When a bullseye is struck, I'll put this over here so you can actually read it as well, it vanishes and a new one appears elsewhere. Explosions or large projectiles cannot strike bullseyes. Shots ricocheting off of tossed coins will target bullseyes, but use a lower crit multiplier. Converts all ranged critical strike chance boosts into extra critical strike damage. All ranged weapons will deal more critical strike damage the slower they are. Summons a heroic spirit from another world. If the accessory is visible and enabled, the heroic spirit is summoned when the accessory is placed in a vanity slot. Oh, and one other thing. We recrafted the angel treads. I think the later wings are exclusively only used... I've just looked at the middle of the screen now. Who is that supposed to be? It's not a character I recognise. Anyway, yeah, the later wings are basically only used to upgrade these boots. There is still at least one more wing that goes with an armour set, but I think the later wings are specifically more designed just to be fused with these. So for the time being, we'll use the wing for our armor set, and then we'll keep the angel treads. Okay, and then one last thing is the weapon. Right. Let me quickly test the drill. I don't think this flies. Oh no, it does fly! It is a fair bit better than what we previously had. It is slow though. I forget what kind of range this thing can dig in. So let's just point it downwards. Okay, it's 4 wide, so more or less. Right, that's a problem. So more or less the same size as our existing one, so it is perfectly reasonable for us to be replacing it. Interesting. I didn't notice that previously when I had this from previous playthroughs. It's actually causing what words am I thinking of? It's adding angles to the blocks it mines. Right. Let's get that replaced in this. Put that on, and then that can be retired. The gun will test with all the other things. I imagine this uses gel. No? Maybe it, oh, it's a magic weapon, isn't it? Yeah, it won't use ammo. Right, so that's the easy chest out of the way. We'll keep that in there. Next up, all of this stuff. These are elemental weapons. These are used, or this will then or eventually be merged with these. That's an elemental weapon, and then these are just upgrades. So loot all of that. Doesn't matter if they aren't stacked correctly. Let's see. Devastation is definitely one of them. The elemental flamethrower is one of them. Planetary annihilation is one of them. There's 2 of those. Yep, Solace Claymore is one. We do need, I didn't actually allocate it, but we do need one of those. What's that used for in the long term? It's just a melee weapon created straight up with this stuff. Where is it? There it is. Ah, yes, it's using the Oathbringer, so we do need it. We didn't have, or we've not got the stuff in our inventory for it. 2 of those. 2 of these. Then let's grab the spare. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Craft it for later. Do I want to do this inventory at a time? No, let's try to go through the motions of crafting everything. And then we can just test it all at once. Right, that's one of them. 2 of the elemental books. That's one. That's one. That's another one. We don't have the room for that. Okay, we have 2 of these. A mace. Disseminator. Onyx blaster. We are running out of space to craft stuff with. Yes, we no longer have the space. We better go through testing these weapons first, and then we'll finish off what's in there. So, let's get our dummy out. And just start going through these. Right. Shoots a massive spread of bullets. Uses a lot of mana pretty quickly. Basically a magic shotgun. Superior Devastator. Fires galaxy blasts that explode. Okay, it fires 1 blast from the sword and then a bunch from the sky. Pretty good if your aim is poor or if you need a ranged weapon as a melee fighter. Changes projectile colour based upon the time of year. Inflicts day broken during the day and night wither during the night. Solace Claymore. They're all doing about the same amount of damage. Elemental Lance. Fires a lance beam that splits multiple times as it travels. Rend the cosmos asunder. Whoa. I mean, if you're not playing on a ultra-wide or larger monitor, you're never going to see the effect that's happening over there on the left-hand side. I think most of that is still in ultra-wide range, but still. I do hope that the range of some of these effects isn't being affected by my resolution. Okay, the Arc of the Elements. This is one of the ones that's going to go into a very powerful endgame item. I think this is the one that merges with the true Biome Blade. So let's see. Left click performs a 5-swing combo that ends by throwing the blade. Release while the blade is out to deal extra damage and give 2 charges. Right click to snip out the scissor blades in front of you. Hitting an enemy with it will parry them, granting you brief invulnerability. You can parry projectiles and make them deal 100 less damage for a short period. Parrying will empower your next 10 swings of the sword, letting you use both blades at once. Pressing right click while holding up will empower, or with empowered charges will provoke a big rip in space-time and use all charges. That's a complicated weapon. A heavenly pair of blades infused with the essence of Terraria, powerful enough to cut through the fabrics of reality. Unfortunately, we don't have anything that can parry us. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Parry! That parry lasts for a decent amount of time. Let's see if we can find... we can force some enemies to spawn over here. Thanks to this being a graveyard. He says there's no enemies want to spawn. Hello? I haven't killed all the enemies in the world yet. Where are you? There we go. Hopping jack will work. Well, it killed it. I don't know if that counts. Well, the ding is the fact that we can parry again now. What was the other effect? By pressing right click while holding up. Will provoke a big rip in the space-time and use all the charges. Okay, so that's what it was. Right, next up. Planetary Annihilation fires a storm of 7 arrows from the sky. Wooden arrows are converted into homing energy bolts. We have wooden arrows. Effective. Onyx Change Blaster fires a spread of bullets and onyx shards. Kind of shotgun-esque. Flamethrower. Did we actually? We did pick up some good. Ram's Revenge. What's this actually say? Charge up to spew rainbow flames and pair with homing elemental flares. Summons a blood explosion and lowers enemy defense on hit. Wielded by the most powerful fighter. Rems. Oh, that's a ReZero reference. And that ends up being used in the dragon item? Oh no, this one isn't. It's just an item on its own. I would have thought that it being a mace, it would have been... Well, not a mace. A flail. It would have gone into the super flail. Let's see. Fires iron blasts that speed up and explode. Damage scales with how full your mana is. Use an astral injection. Alright, use an astral injection reduces the effectiveness of the mana boost. Which is a excessive, if I remember correctly. So yeah, does more damage earlier on. Oh, no, we already have one of those up there. I that's all of the weapons in here that we need to test. Yep. Okay. Cast a burst of elemental tendrils to spear your enemies. So it's another version of this. I forget what the original item that does that is. I just remember that there being a vanilla item that does it. I just can't remember which one it is. Okay, cast 4 celestial beams near the player. The solar beam explodes into fire on enemy hit, and the nebula beam sweeps a little bit over time. Vortex beam acts like fast lightning, electrifying enemies on hit. Stardust beam releases small stars that home in an enemy. That's an interesting magic weapon. Genesis. Fires a Y-shaped beam of destructive energy and spread of lasers. Okay. Fires a plague and cloud of bees. Throws a heavy gravity-affected hammer that will return to you after striking an enemy. Consecutive hits call down more and more lunar flares from the sky. After hitting 5 times, the hammer supercharges with lunar energy and pulverizes your target. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's cool. If I was playing a melee character, I'd be very tempted to use this just for that. Ultra Liquidator. Summons liquidation blades that summon more blades than enemy hit. The blades inflict Ichor, Cursed Inferno, and Brimstone Flame. That's a heavy debuff weapon. Potentially more useful against a segmented boss given that all of the additional blades are non-targeted. Forceful Disseminator. Fires a tight spread of bullets that cause a greater number of bullets from the sky. Oh, we are down to 1,000 bullets. Another shotgun. It's just a better version of the one that it was upgraded from. Great Sword of Judgment fires a white orb that emits rain on death for a time. That emits white rain on death for a time. A pale white sword from the Forgotten Land. You can hear faint yet comforting whispers emanating from the blade. No matter where you may be, you are never alone. I shall always be by your side, my lord. That's gotta be a reference to something that I cannot recall or I do not know. Interesting. Nuclear Fury. Casts a torrent of cosmic typhoons. I was going to say you can stop now. That's going to hit basically everything. It's a good area clear weapon. Okay, that's everything here. 1 second, I will tidy all of this stuff away into locations that it's supposed to be, because a lot of this is materials for even better weapons. So, I mean, that's the reason why I'm crafting these. I'm not going to be using the majority of them. What I may end up doing is when we get to the boss rush stage, I will have, hopefully, the best weapons in all categories, and we might start messing around with like melee ranged magic, actual straight up builds for them. But yeah, it's like most of these are materials for other things. So yeah, let me get all of this put away and I will be right back. Okay, we're back. Everything's been put away, so now we just have one more set of stuff to craft. And then subsequently test. Starfleet, we need 2 of these. I might sneeze in a minute. It's coming. I will edit that out in post. What else? We need that. And we need that. So just the 4 weapons. I think Starfleet is another shotgun because I believe, given I was just filing these away, this gets merged together. Ah no, this is a different one. It looks very like something that's used... Oh no, there would have been a flamethrower that becomes the upgrade of this. And then that goes into what will be the weapon for the god weapon. Okay, so let's give these a quick test so we can get on with the rest of the episode. First things first, Starfleet. Fires a spurt of plasma blasts. I'm gonna guess gel. Not gel. Not missiles? Oh wait, this was upgraded from the star cannon. Interesting but not useful. Prideful Hunter's Planar Ripper. That's a name. Every 4th shot deals 135 damage, converting musket balls into lightning bolts. Lightning bolts travel extremely fast and explode on enemy kills. Lightning bolt crits grant a stacking speed boost to the player. This stacks up to 20% bonus movement speed and acceleration. The boost will reset if the player holds a different item. Well, the colouring of this isn't helpful. Fair enough. Astral Defeat. All arrows are converted into astral arrows and emit flames as they travel. Some of them are turning back. What are they trying to do? They're just heading in random directions? What a weird weapon. And then lastly, the Elemental Shiv shoots a rainbow shiv that spawns additional shivs on hit. Doesn't look like the weapon itself does damage. It has tracking, but it doesn't live long enough to loop around and hit something. Okay. That has upgrades, that does not. That does not, and this does. I've crafted 2 of them because it forks into 2 different weapons, doesn't it? Yeah. A little way off both of them. But let's get this stuff put away. And then we have some bosses to quickly refight. To see what they do. Right, okay then. I believe that's all our busy work done. Let's just make sure there's nothing hanging around. We might put this into storage afterwards. I don't think I've used any other chests, and I think anything that could have been crafted in these chests, I pulled them out. I think, yeah, that's waiting for protoplasm. That's missing a singular item. What item is it? Ah yeah, that there. None of that has an upgrade. And they are not upgradable. Right. Okay, Lunatic Cultist. Let's take it on with this class. We won't bother with using any buffs for this, because in theory it shouldn't be that dangerous. It can still kill me. We haven't got that much more defense. I'm not sure which weapon is really going to be the most suitable. For this guy. But we will get some additional damage from our summons and adds. I don't think we can summon the flowers because it needs 3, doesn't it? Yeah. So we'll have to use the axe, which is fine. Okay. Right. Some 2 axes. And these 2 things. Which one of these has... I forget which one of these ended up being the most effective. This one certainly had the most effective, just like point and shoot damage. Okay. Can I fire this through? Oh. Great start. Freeze myself twice already. Target. I'm paying too much attention to where it is and not where I'm being attacked from, given the fact that all of these weapons I need to actually hit with, and he's a small target. So the issue wasn't the damage we was doing, the issue was more just not paying attention to what was hitting us. Okay. And possibly not using our stealth strikes. And I wasn't paying attention to where it was, and it's hit me 3 times in a row because of that. There we go. Didn't get what we was after, so let me deal with all of this stuff. It's going to be easier just to swap over to summon and deal with it this way. And we will be back once we are ready to fight the Moon Lord. Okay, 60 seconds and we'll have another fight with the Moon Lord. The towers seem to die a lot quicker now. To the point where it's fairly... or only half of those towers actually gave me... No, stay away from that. What is it even doing? Oh, that's a profane butterfly. That is something else entirely. I was going to say, what is a prismatic lance ring doing here at the minute? But no, it may still be a summon item. I'm not going to deliberately kill it. Okay. Let's get these two quickly plopped down somewhere. This side here looks like it could use some more. Right. Select that. Buffs. Additional. New one. Kill that eye quickly, I would appreciate it. And land. It is very, very satisfying to return to a boss that gave you trouble and watch it melt. That died way quicker than I was expecting it to. I wasn't entirely expecting it to actually defeat it. I was half expecting to die to it again, but nope. That died super fast. It seems the summoner upgrades are a little bit better than my rogue upgrades, but that may just be because I'm not particularly good at playing rogue. Let's see, did we get any of them? Hey, we got the crystal staff, that's one thing at least. Did we need a second copy of this? No, we didn't. I think we needed a second copy of Star Wrath though. Yeah, this was definitely one of the ones we wanted and needed. So good, we've got two of those. That does mean that we didn't get the Terrarian, the Celebratron we need if we're going to make the party cannon. A very special kind of party cannon. I go here, where is it? It's used to make the rainbow party cannon, but it requires the cosmic rainbow, of which we only have one of, unless we go into creating another world. But yeah, we would need this weapon as well, but we can farm this later. The Terrarian is just, it's obviously a yo-yo, it has a direct upgrade into this. And what was the other thing? Prism. The prism was always an interesting weapon. It's probably not going to be in there. We need to search it from here. Helps if you spell it right though. Yeah, it looks like it just upgrades to what I'm assuming is just going to be a better version. But again, we can't do that at the minute, so let us not worry about it. Right. We are aware that profane enemies do spawn here, but they don't spawn particularly often. What we will do is I will clear out my inventory and then we'll jump into the dungeon. I think we're approaching 40 minutes-ish on this episode with edits, so we can probably spend 10 minutes down there, 10 minutes trying to get more profane enemies to spawn. That's what Zerg potions will be for. But yeah, let me clear out my inventory and we will be right back. Oh, actually, before we do that, this is the only new weapon that we actually need to test. Let's get a lot of our summoner stuff, even though this is a summoner weapon. Oh, are they fairly short range? Let's use them one at a time. Oh no, they can have a bit of range to them. In fact, the further away that they're targeting something, the further the auxiliary attacks go. On its own, it's doing 700 damage. Versus, I mean, the way that this is attacking is equivalent to the way that this attacks. It's basically guaranteed to hit a target. This is still going to be significantly better against... well, it depends on how much the beams themselves hit multi-segmented bosses. Because if these beams individually, not the actual endpoints, but the beams themselves deal damage to multi-segmented bosses, that's going to deal an enormous amount of damage to such a boss. Okay, they're better. They're just straight up better. That is doing... I suppose again it's sweeping, but the other one's shooting at a cone effect. Ah, I bet I know what this is. These are more effective close range. But then maybe the same is true for this at point blank range. Okay, yep, we swapped that weapon out. You had a good run, all of one boss fight, but unfortunately, the pretty rainbow staff is better than you. Just straight up better than you. Okay, let's get this stuff put away. I know this has one direct upgrade, and we know we need the upgrade for that, so we want to keep these two, and then everything else can be sold or put away. Citrus put away, yeah, we already have that. Okay, one moment please. Okay, just remembered that the princess actually has an exclamation point from when we killed the Moon Lord, which means she has a new item, which I can't remember what it is. It's assuming we can even identify what it is in here. Maybe the scepter? Maybe it's a drink? Maybe the music box? I have no idea. One of these items is new. Which one it is, I don't know. Anyway, let's get ourselves into the dungeon. Don't mind us. Excuse you, why'd you have to do that? Go away. Who killed them? It was one of my elementals, wasn't it? Fine. Let's try that again without summoning the elemental cultist. Right, let's stick with this, because I don't know how dangerous these things are. So in theory, killed enemies now spawn. There we go. Oh, we forgot to, we meant to, and we forgot to bring, what are they called with us? Zerg potion. We do have, candles. We don't have Zerg candles, but we do have the other kind. So this is what we can specifically use them for at the minute. And we can also make the Eldritch Null artifact. So we need at least 10. And then I think pretty much everything else after this we can't make. Interesting. I don't think that's an effect we can apply yet. We've taken damage from something, let's be mindful of that. Can't make that. Hang on a second. I don't like the look of that. Wailing echoes through the labyrinth. Wails. Yeah, go through the dilapidated. That sounds like we potentially are in process of summoning something. Being the case, I don't want to stay down here too long because we don't want to spawn a boss today. We certainly don't want to spawn a boss while we're in this kind of area. So I don't know what we kill. Usually that kind of effect doesn't just immediately start. You get a little bit of a warning. How they're attacking through walls is a little bit of a pain. We do need another... we need to kill another sniper. What hit us? These particular summon item or summons is that, yeah, they're attacking through walls. I suppose that's one way to deal with a paladin. Long dead prisoners seek their zealous revenge. Okay, yeah. If we stay in here much longer, we're gonna summon a boss. So let's quickly collect the protoplasm stuff that we can see and get out of here for now. That'll do. Oh! Blood Moon. Whisper in a bottle. Where did we pick that up from? Phantom in a jar. Yep, it's used in the super light. Or the super light pet, so put you in here for good measure. Ah, that deserved to be placed in the dungeon. Oh well, too late. Right, let me one, end the Blood Moon. 2, clean out my inventory. 3, get the things crafted that we want to with this, which is this and this. 25 navy plates. Stack of items there. 25 Exodium clusters. That gives us... Oh, we're still missing something. Or are we just not far enough over? Gives us the static ninja belt. Ah, you need a Crimson Altar, fair enough. And we cannot actually make the rest of this stuff. Other than the summon items. Another summon item. Okay, so let's snip over to a Crimson Altar to make that. Okie dokie. So the ninja belt is movement related boosts. I think, yeah, it does have a further upgrade. which we can't make yet, so that wants to stay out. Boost melee speed by 10%, range velocity by 25%, rogue stealth generation by 15%, max minions by 1, reduces mana cost by 15, grants immunity to Whispering Death. I get the feeling we're going to want that item for a specific boss coming up, but I have no idea which one of them is going to use Whispering Death. If I had to guess, Polterplasm. Or Poltergeist. So, I think we'll leave it there for today. The next target will be the Profane Guardians and Dragon Folly. We'll look to take them on tomorrow. Then we have... We'll do it in the order it says here. The wiki does mention that Poltergeist can be fought at this point, but it does say it is advisable to take it on later. So we'll focus on the order that's in this list rather than the fact that it mentions it can be fought. So we'll take these two on, and then we will see what we get from those in terms of craftable materials and what we can do with that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back again on Wednesday with more of this, so hopefully we'll see you next time. Cheerio.